Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
You're listening to House of Cards.
Today, the game is different.
I want to gamble. Gambling is a very serious business.
Is that clear?
Welcome to House of Cards. Dave Weishuttle with you here, deep from the swamps of Jersey. We got a great show coming up for you. Not only am I a huge fan of golf, but I'm a huge fan of the PGA Tour. When I think of innovators in the sports world, I think of the PGA Tour, especially when you're talking about sports betting and fantasy sports. And recently, the PGA Tour did deals with Penn Entertainment, ESPN Bet and Fanduel that will be just incredible for people who love to watch golf and who love to bet on golf. Coming up, I'm going to be talking with the Vice President of Gaming at the PGA Tour, Scott Warfield. We're going to find out all about what the PGA Tour is doing in the world of gaming and sports betting and what the fans can expect from them in the coming year. When we come back, we're going to be talking PGA Tour. So stick around. We'll be right back with House of Cards.
The IRS has collected over $1 billion in past due taxes this year, and they're aggressively targeting more taxpayers. Don't wait until the IRS comes knocking. Our team is here to help you resolve your tax debts before things escalate. Every tax situation is unique, and so is our approach. We tailor solutions to fit your specific needs, giving you the personalized attention you deserve. The IRS has resumed collection enforcement. Don't wait until it's too late. Our team can help you resolve your tax issues before liens, levies, or passport restrictions kick in. Behind on filing taxes? We specialize in getting you back on track by filing past returns and negotiating with the IRS. Does the IRS claim that you owe money that you don't have? We fight to lower your tax debt to an amount that you can afford. United Tax Fix. Expert help, personalized service, and the peace of mind you deserve.
Call 800-852-6985. That's 800-852-6985.
Hey, this is Dave Weishuttle from House of Cards with your House of Cards gaming report for the week of February 17, 2025. Fans of the Universal Monster movies will soon be able to enjoy the Dracula slot machine. Dracula is the next entry in Light & Wonder's Universal Monster series and is the follow-up to the very popular Frankenstein slot machine. According to the press release, Dracula is a wide-area progressive game featuring the famous vampire as portrayed by screen legend Bela Lugosi. And speaking of new slots, Wynn Las Vegas and Aristocrat Gaming celebrate the world premiere of the all-new House of the Dragon slot game. The game, based on the Emmy Award-winning HBO series, is the first game with 5 overlapping metamorphic features with Mega Prize, Boost Prize, Double All, Award All, and Instant Win. On hand for the premiere was actor Steve Dusant, the Sea Snake from the series. And finally, Coeur d'Alene Casino Resort Hotel announced that it is taking AI to the next level. Escape, spelled A-E-S-C-A-P-E, is a groundbreaking AI-powered, fully automated massage experience. The first of its kind in the Northwest United States, the system uses a precise body scan so guests can select the areas they want massage. They are booking appointments as we speak, and it sounds like an interesting experience. Have any news or tips regarding casinos, gaming, or legislation? Send us an email at newsroom@houseofcardsradio.com and follow us on X at HOC Radio.
You're listening to House of Cards. Check out our website at houseofcardsradio.com.
Welcome back to House of Cards. Dave Weishuttle with you. I think I said many times on the show, I'm a huge fan of the PGA Tour, not only because I love golf, but how the PGA Tour presents the game to its fans. Whether you're a sports bettor, a fantasy player, or you just like watching golf on TV, there's no better sporting event than a PGA Tour event. And with new deals with Penn Entertainment and FanDuel, golf is getting better and better. And to tell us all about the great things coming up for the PGA Tour, we have returning guest Scott Warfield, who is the Vice President of Gaming at the PGA Tour. Scott, welcome back to the show.
Dave, thanks for having me.
As I said, I'm a huge fan of golf and a huge fan of the PGA Tour because you guys really innovate. I think as a professional league, you do most of the innovating that is just amazing to me. And every year I sit and watch golf and sitting on my chair and I'm thinking, you can't get any better than this, but the PGA Tour is just moving the goalposts and it's just doing amazing things, especially in the gaming world. What you're doing is spectacular. What has been the PGA Tour's philosophy when it comes to golf and the gaming industry? I mean, what has been the driving force behind what the PGA Tour is doing, and what will it do in the future?
I think the driving force from day one sort of is still guiding us today, which I think is encouraging. And that was to use this new legalized activity that's we're now in 40-something states around the country, using it to drive engagement and grow the fan base. And that sounds cliche. It sounds like something you say at a conference on a panel. But that is the lens through which we look at this business. If we can get our current fans more engaged in our product for longer, it's going to mean an increase in quarter hours for our TV ratings. Why does that matter? That means more value for our title sponsors, more value for our players' logos on their sleeves and hats. It means bigger media deals when we go to market in 2028, 2029. So everything we do is about trying to drive that engagement of our core fan and use this new activity to expose new audiences to the game of golf, the professional game of golf in particular. And if you look at the Super Bowl just ending and football being sort of popular here in the United States, they're on hiatus until September. And that's an opportunity as it's getting warmer and people are starting to get outside and play golf and, our season getting into full swing with, the players coming up in March, and then you're into the Masters and the FedEx Cup in August. That's an opportunity for us to expose the sport to NFL fans, to football fans, to baseball fans, to come over and see what we're doing. And that's the guiding principle is if we can get this right, we're gonna grow audience.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I mean, from our perspective, anytime an executive from a professional league comes on the show, they talk about sports betting and fantasy sports and about gaming, and they always mention about audience engagement and growing the fan base. What have you seen at the PGA Tour? Have you seen not only an increase of fans, but more engagement with the fans, your core fans?
We have. What's interesting about golf, I think in the past may have been viewed as a detractor or negative, which is the pace of play. And a lot of people pointed to that over the years. Oh, the game is too slow. Well, the game is perfectly fast or slow, however you want to say it, for sports betting.
Absolutely.
Where you have time in between shots to re-rack and set new lines, and we have these thousands and thousands of discrete moments that happen on a really advantageous pace of play where a player hits a ball into the fairway, takes 5 minutes to walk to the ball, another couple minutes, pick a club, hit his next shot. You can imagine what that opens up in terms of, is he going to hit the green next? Is he going to get it inside 20 feet? Those are all opportunities to engage the fan base longer, have them stay with the broadcast. And that's a lot of what we're doing with, these new deals that we have in place, in particular, the betting feed that we launched at the WM Phoenix Open just this past weekend.
Now, as you said, recently the PGA Tour did a couple of incredible deals, one with Penn Entertainment and one with FanDuel, and we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of these deals shortly. And by the way, these deals involve incredible viewing options for fans and some really fun things that golf fans will really enjoy. You even have online casino games in these deals. And speaking as a guy who's a golf fan and living in New Jersey who has online casinos, I got pretty excited. And quite frankly, I rarely get excited reading press releases. But my question to you is, when you're contemplating making a deal with a gaming operator, other than making me insanely happy, what is the criteria for any deals that the PGA Tour makes with gaming operators?
It's been a bit of an evolution for us in this first, we'll call it 6.5 years since the Supreme Court made a pretty important decision with the strike down of PASPA in May of 2018. originally, and I think we might have talked about this a couple of years ago, the thinking was let's, let's align our brand with as many of the operators as possible as we figure out who's going to invest in golf, who's going to, garner market share. That was truly just the first inning of this 9-inning game. And so we had 6 partners out of the gates. We now have, I think, both ways. We have figured out, who we really enjoy working with, who's the right brand fit for the PGA Tour. And that's what you saw in the last couple of weeks when we renewed with the 2 market leaders in DraftKings and FanDuel. And, we added our 3rd partner with ESPN Bet. That those are, 3 of the best names in the business. We think they're aligning with the one of the best names in sports. And they're all in their own ways doing really unique things to help grow the game of golf generally, and the PGA Tour specifically. And that is the main criteria is how are they going to invest back into our league and our sport. We've obviously seen that over and over and over again with FanDuel and DraftKings. And now we're seeing it with our partners at ESPN Bet.
Stick around. We'll be right back with House of Cards.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, give us a call at 800-733-6860. 800-733-6860.
You're listening to the House of Cards.
Why, you cheap crook, stealing the baby's bank. It's only a lend-lease. I figured to bet on the 50-to-1 shot and double the baby's money. Why, you imbecile. Why don't you pick a 100-to-1 shot and triple it? Oh, okay.
Welcome back to House of Cards. Dave Weishuttle with you. House of Cards is brought to you by BetMGM Casino. Play your favorite casino games at BetMGM Online Casino. Go to BetMGM Casino, create an account using our promo code Turnpike, and become a verified player. New players get $25 free when signing up, plus a first deposit bonus up to $1,000. That's promo code Turnpike at BetMGM.com for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000 plus $25 free. Must be 21 years or older to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. For those of you just joining us, I am talking with the Vice President of Gaming at the PGA Tour, Scott Warfield. Well, let me ask you about the Penn Entertainment deal. And when we say Penn Entertainment, I also mean ESPN, ESPN Plus, and ESPN Bet. Tell us something about that deal and the PGA Tour, and what are you guys doing together? Because I think it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, so this started, if you look back at when, under the leadership of Rick Anderson and Norb Gambuza and our media group, when they did these media deals that we're currently living with today with NBC, CBS, and ESPN, the real opportunity with having 4 live feeds every single day on ESPN Plus, we quickly, back in 2021, realized that was a great opportunity to have a dedicated gaming sports betting feed. At that time, I think Disney and ESPN were still figuring out what their approach to the space was going to be. But they obviously did a massively important deal with Penn a couple of years ago, where they rebranded to ESPN Bet, and that really was the opportunity and the moment in time where we could then partner with Penn / ESPN Bet, make them an official betting operator. And as part of that, we have converted for at least 6 tournaments this year, our 4th feed, which was a marquee hole feed for a couple hours a day, where we're having a dedicated sports betting feed. So if you watched it all during the WM Phoenix Open, you could tune in, and as guys were walking up to 16, the famous stadium hole at 16, you would see their odds of getting a par or birdie. You would see odds of who was going to win the hole. You even saw odds of who could get it closest to the pin on that par 3. And again, if you go back to where we started this conversation, that it's right in the wheelhouse of what we're trying to accomplish, which is early on a Thursday, early on a Friday, getting those core fans who may in the past have said, I'll catch the back 9 on Sunday afternoon. Well, this is a really compelling new way to look at the sport that may bring them in earlier in the day. It may encourage them, okay, I'm not going to follow this. I bet on Webb Simpson to be the first round leader. I'm now more inclined to watch the Golf Channel broadcast later in the day on Thursday afternoon. So it's not perfect. We have a lot of work to do to get to where we want to go, but it was certainly a really pinch me type moment to see that broadcast come to life. And, we're going to keep evolving it over the next several months.
Let me ask you about these new features, as you said, premiered recently at the recently held Waste Management Phoenix Open. And I got to tell you, combining the PGA Tour's ShotLink technology, which I think is just so much fun to watch, combining that with ESPN broadcasts, you're taking watching golf on TV to a whole new level. For people who may have missed the broadcast, when you're watching the actual round of golf, what kind of information is presented in addition to the golf that they're watching? What do they see on the screen? What can they expect to see on the screen in the future?
Yeah, I mean, what you saw this past weekend and what you'll see at our next event, which is Players here in our backyard in middle of March, you're going to see a ton of stats. You're going to see a ton of data about how those players perform at that event on that specific hole. You're going to see actual betting markets as well. Everything from outright winner, who's going to win this tournament, to who's going to win this hole, all the way down granular enough to, who's going to hit it closest to the pin. Are they going to hit the green or not? So again, those are the type of betting markets that frankly didn't exist 8, 9, 10 years ago in our game. That we're starting to educate our current fan base on, but also, as we talked about earlier, expose those opportunities to fans of other sports and say this is a really new and compelling way to watch golf. It's something different, and it may be for you, and we encourage you to come and check it out. And if it's not, that's okay too. But what we love about the ESPN betting feed is we're able to direct the people that are actually looking for it and promote it to them. And that's important for us because we're keen to continue to be leaders on the responsible gaming side of the business with our integrity efforts with Genius Sports and IC360. We want to do this the right way. And we think having a dedicated feed is certainly the responsible way to go about this convergence of betting and media.
And as you said, one of the biggest things in the betting world and the gaming world today is in-play betting. And I've always said, and you've echoed my thoughts, is that there's no better sport for in-play betting than golf because it's at the perfect pace and really it's just compelling storylines for the fan to get involved in. It's probably too early to tell if there's been an increase of in-play betting because of this partnership. But is that the hope that fans will become more engaged and more? There's storylines that you can really get involved with during every round of golf. And is that the hope, that ESPN will get more people involved in in-play betting?
Short answer is yes. The more nuanced answer is we're already seeing that across the board. Okay. With all operators, in particular FanDuel and DraftKings. If you think about the total handle of golf and what percentage a pre-match bet was when we started back in 2021, that number was probably 60, 70, sometimes 80% of all bets happened on before Thursday morning when the guys teed off. Mm-hmm. That number has precipitously dropped in a good way, mm-hmm. where it's much closer to a 50-50 breakout, maybe 40-60, 60-40, where a lot more in-play betting is happening. And if you walked around the WM Phoenix Open on the 16th hole in particular this past weekend, I can't tell you how many people you saw on the DraftKings app as every three ball came through, betting on who they thought was going to get it closest to the pin. So that is something that we're proud of. We're not standing on the battleship saying this is mission accomplished and mm-hmm. we're there. But we're seeing the trends that are encouraging that this is something, to your point, that is different, and it's thousands of golf shots a day, balls in the air from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. It truly is the perfect product mm-hmm. for in-play betting, as well as the nature of this game, probably dating back to the first time someone dropped a rock and hit it with a stick. You usually go out and you bet with your buddies.
Sure.
It's a perfect intersection. And again, ton of work to do, but in this now, I'll call it top of the third. Mm-hmm. We're pretty encouraged with what we're seeing.
Stick around. We'll be right back with more House of Cards. Sign up at jackpot.com and you can bet on the world's best lotteries where the biggest jackpots are up for grabs. Powerball, Mega Millions, some of the biggest lotteries can be found at jackpot.com. Simply choose your lotto game, pick your numbers, or use their quick pick feature, and you're done. Sign up at jackpot.com with code DRAW24 and get a free lottery ticket with your first deposit. Jackpot.com, it's the world of lotto in your hand. Terms and conditions apply. You must be at least 18 years old and in the United States to play. Void where prohibited. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
With costs going up, Adam & Eve is the best deal around. With 50% off a sexy adult product at adamandeve.com. That's 50% off right now when you point the camera on your smartphone at the code on the screen. Don't get up. Just open your camera and point it at the screen. Hurry! You'll also get 10 free gifts, including free discreet shipping at checkout. This is your chance to get more for less. So scan now for 50% off plus 10 free gifts from adamandeve.com.
You're listening to the House of Cards.
Whoa! I think we got a show.
Oh, yeah, we got a show.
We definitely got a show.
Oh, yeah, there's a show. Hey, it's all about ratings, baby, and we got them.
Welcome back to House of Cards. Dave Weishuttle with you. House of Cards is brought to you by BetMGM Casino. Play your favorite casino games at BetMGM Online Casino. Go to BetMGM Casino, create an account using our promo code Turnpike, and become a verified player. New players get $25 free when signing up, plus a first deposit bonus up to $1,000. That's promo code Turnpike at BetMGM.com for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000 plus $25 free. Must be 21 years or older to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. For those of you just joining us, I am talking with the Vice President of Gaming at the PGA Tour, Scott Warfield. Not only is ESPN and ESPN Bet involved in the actual round of golf, but there's also going to be programming even before the round of golf is broadcast. Is that correct? Is there some kind of pre-programming to get us up to date about what's happening with the PGA Tour and what we can expect from the actual tour event?
Yeah, I mean, look, whether it's on our PGAtour.com, and we brought our golf bet brand in-house after a great couple of years with Action Network. So, golf bet is an incredible resource of information for bettors to better understand, who has the best strokes gained at this particular course, who plays well at Torrey Pines versus TPC Scottsdale. So that is, a huge piece of, our apparatus here at the PGA Tour. Mm-hmm. And then, if you look at what ESPN brings with the ESPN Bet show, used to be called Daily Wager. Yeah. They're talking about golf and where there's opportunities, and FanDuel, DraftKings, the same thing with all of their kind of shoulder programming and podcasts. And that's a big piece of what we have to do, and we have been doing, will continue to do, is lean into the content that surrounds this business, because we're a challenger brand right now. Mm-hmm. The big three sports account for 80-85% of all handle, because that's traditionally, especially in this country where it's been, it wasn't legal until 2018. We're playing catch up. But we think if we continue on this trajectory, if we continue pushing the right way, the responsible way, we can grow our share, and it'd be a nice little business for the PGA Tour.
So how many PGA Tour events will ESPN Plus and ESPN Bet be involved in? And how do people best view these events? Because, sometimes it's streaming and a lot of people aren't used to how streaming works. So where is the best place to view the events?
Yeah, so just to be abundantly clear, so ESPN every single week, mm-hmm. On ESPN Plus has 4 different feeds for our tournaments. Wow. Everything from the main feed to the marquee group to a featured group to a featured hole. So you can come in any single week on ESPN Plus and watch a handful of those feeds. Right now, for 6 tournaments this year, first one was WM. Second one will be Players for 2 hours a day. On that 4th feed is where we have this betcast. Okay. It is our hope and intention that our thesis that this is really compelling and differentiated a viewing experience will be felt by the fans, and that the business case to do more of these in 25 will grow, and certainly in 26 at events. Ultimately, again, coming quite biased on this thought and hope and opinion, but would like to see a betting feed on ESPN Plus every single day, mm-hmm. every single week, because I do think this could be our Manning cast. It could be our coach cast, or whatever those alternate broadcasts that work so well in other sports. I think this is one of the best things we could do to spawn growth in the area. But time will tell, and fan reaction will prove whether I'm right or wrong.
Now, another partnership that the PGA Tour recently announced is an extension of their agreement with FanDuel. And I love this line from the press release. I'm just going to read it. FanDuel, for the first time, will work to enhance the storytelling of select broadcasts through live odds integrations. I mean, as a golf fan, as a sports betting fan, I love to experience something like that, and it's an absolutely amazing step forward what you guys are doing. Tell us a little bit about your partnership with FanDuel, and what can fans expect from that?
Well, really, you saw my water bottle there. It was just to get a FanDuel Stanley out of it. I'm kidding.
Keep marketing. There you go.
Look, these guys and gals at FanDuel have been the absolute best over the last 6 years. From Amy Howe, the CEO, to Christian Janetsky, the president, all the way down through the organization. They are at the core. They're all golfers, which certainly helps. They also have bought into the vision that we have talked about today of why golf is so perfect for in-play betting. And they continue to invest in this sport. And I don't mean just the PGA Tour. I mean with players, with tournaments, with us, any aspect of the golf industry they can get their hands on. They see value in investing their resources, which are, of course, limited because there are so many sports, there are so many options of places they could be investing, and they continue to do so in a really meaningful way. With golf, you know, what you're probably seeing differently starting in 2025 is, you know, some subtle integrations on CBS where you know, they're making the connection between probabilities and odds. So you may see the Thomas Dietrich this past weekend come to the tee box on 18, and CBS may show, hey, at the beginning of the week, his probability of winning was, I'm making this up because I don't have it in front of me, 7 or 8%. His odds were plus 300. Plus 3,000, whatever it was. He's now got a 7-shot lead. His probability of winning is 99.99%, and his odds are, you know, minus 100,000 or whatever they were at that particular moment. So that's something we haven't done in the past. Again, it's more of around the education of betting, of in-play odds, the fact that, you know, we still get some people saying they don't know that you can bet on the outright winner after play has started. Those odds are always changing every time there's a stroke of the golf ball.
Sure.
You know, those odds are changing to pick different times to get in and out. So, you know, that's different. They've also assumed control of our odds leaderboard on our website. So if you want to go to the most viewed page on the site of the odds leaderboard, you can now toggle on the odds and see where everyone stacks up. So there's a good digital play. We're doing a lot more with them on social media. That they've been a great partner, as has, again, DraftKings, and why we renewed with both of them. So two fantastic companies, market leaders that we're kind of expanding with. So it's super exciting.
You know, another thing that excited me about the PGA Tour working with FanDuel is that the PGA Tour will have co-branded casino games on FanDuel Online Casino. As someone who lives in New Jersey and plays on online casinos, I can't wait to hear about these games. So when I log on to FanDuel Casino soon, what kind of games can I expect to see with the PGA Tour logo on them?
Yeah, look, we're still working through a lot of that with both FanDuel and ESPN Bet, who have those new kind of what I'll call iCasino rights. But you've seen it with other sports, right? If you're an Eagles fan in Pennsylvania or a Phillies fan in Pennsylvania, and you get on and want to play a Philadelphia Phillies branded blackjack game, you know, pretty simple integrations. But we know our brand has a ton of loyalty. It has incredible name recognition. You know, so that's the kind of at the basic end. I think over time, as we get into this, I think there's also really unique original casino type games we could develop in partnership with those two partners. But we're going to walk before we run, and kind of see what fan reaction is and what adoption is.
So is there a time frame when people can expect to see the online casino games, and what are you guys thinking about that?
Months, not years.
Oh, great. Stick around. We'll be right back with House of Cards.
The IRS has collected over $1 billion in past due taxes this year, and they're aggressively targeting more taxpayers. Don't wait until the IRS comes knocking. Our team is here to help you resolve your tax debts before things escalate. Every tax situation is unique, and so is our approach. We tailor solutions to fit your specific needs, giving you the personalized attention you deserve. The IRS has resumed collection enforcement. Don't wait until it's too late. Our team can help you resolve your tax issues before liens, levies, or passport restrictions kick in. Behind on filing taxes? We specialize in getting you back on track by filing past returns and negotiating with the IRS. Does the IRS claim that you owe money that you don't have? We fight to lower your tax debt to an amount that you can afford. United Tax Fix. Expert help, personalized service, and the peace of mind you deserve.
Call 800-852-6985. That's 800-852-6985.
You're listening to the House of Cards.
Lose track of time in those casinos. There's no windows, there's no clocks, and you never walk away from the table when you're on a heater.
Welcome back to House of Cards. Dave Weishottle with you. House of Cards is brought to you by BetMGM Casino. Play your favorite casino games at BetMGM Online Casino. Go to BetMGM Casino, create an account using our promo code Turnpike, and become a verified player. New players get $25 free when signing up, plus a first deposit bonus up to $1,000. That's promo code Turnpike at BetMGM.com for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000 plus $25 free. Must be 21 years or older to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. For those of you just joining us, I am talking with the Vice President of Gaming at the PGA Tour, Scott Warfield. I got to ask you something else. I mean, and you alluded to it. The great thing about these partnerships between the PGA Tour, Penn Entertainment, DraftKings, ESPN, and FanDuel is that they put out great gaming products in a responsible way. I know responsible gaming is important for the PGA Tour, and I want to ask you, what is the PGA Tour's philosophy and goal when it comes to responsible gaming?
I'm glad you asked about it. I mean, it's near and dear to my heart, and the whole team, because at the end of the day, we are a professional, world-class golf organization. We're never going to be a gaming company, a sports betting company. We want to make sure we leave this space better than we found it. So, look, we partnered with two of the leaders in this space, the American Gaming Association and the National Center for Problem Gambling. We developed a really unique, what I'll call advertising program with Sam the caddy, and he helps, disseminate narratives and messaging around how to set limits and times of day to avoid placing bets when you're coming in after a late night out. If you develop a problem, where to go to get help. And so we use, in particular, March and September, Responsible Gaming Month and Problem Gambling Month, to highlight those key initiatives and partnerships with AGA and NCPG, and then have a evergreen messaging throughout the year. So as we're leaning into the content and talking about, the fun nature of this, we're also balancing it with messaging of here's how to avoid a problem, here's where to go if you get help, and reminding people that this is one of those things that most times you're not going to win. Yeah. That's a tough balance. We're never going to get it 100% right, but we're certainly going to always go at it with full vigor and do it from the right place, because it is it's vitally important to the leadership and myself and others that we do the RG component of this new business as best as humanly possible.
The gaming world is changing and evolving so quickly, and the PGA Tour is such an innovator in the sports world. What can we expect in the near future from the PGA Tour? I mean, a couple years ago when you first came on here, I couldn't even imagine the things you're doing today. My mind boggles on what could happen in the next couple of years. What things can fans expect to see from the PGA Tour? Predict what's going to happen in the next couple of years.
I think a few things. I mean, one, this continued intersection of media and sports betting, I don't think is going anywhere. And I think it's our biggest mouthpiece to promote what we're doing and show fans and non-fans why this is an interesting sport. So that's one. Two, you're obviously seeing parlays be something that has sort of taken over at least U.S. betting. Golf has trailed in that phenomenon. But I think you're going to see more build a bet, we call it, parlay building in the game of golf, where you could tie discrete things happening across different golfers. Rory to have more than 5 birdies, Shane Lowry to have more than 7 pars, etc., and tying those outcomes together for a really unique card is something I think we're going to spend a good amount of time on. And then, season-long opportunities, I think there's another area we'd like to spend more time thinking about. Anything where we can get, again, more fans attending more events, watching longer, watching more, is where we're going to focus attention in the months and years to come.
Scott, we're running out of time, but can you give out the PGA Tour website? Because I think it is one of the best websites in professional sports. And for all the bettors and fantasy sports players out there, you have a great page on that site with a ton of information for sports bettors and fantasy sports. What is the PGA Tour website, and what can people expect to find when they go there?
Yeah, it's PGAtour.com. Lewis and Scott Gutterman and the digital team here, some of the best in the business. They have created an experience on that platform that's incredible Thursday to Sunday, but also, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in the run up to events. We have a pretty robust fantasy and betting section on that, which is where a lot of the golf bet content is housed. It's where our new fantasy game that we launched in January is. And I would encourage, people out there to go and check it out. It's not too late to join. Have a little league here with 3 buddies from work, and the text exchange alone is worth the price of admission. So it's got something for everyone. Tourcast is an incredible product that allows you to follow your favorite player around the golf course. I think it's a great betting companion. As you have your DraftKings or FanDuel or ESPN Bet open, having Tourcast to see where, Lonto Griffin hits a ball, and then, what's going to happen on his next shot. So PGAtour.com, check it out. And I think golf fans and casual sports fans, there's something for everyone.
Scott Warfield, Vice President of Gaming at the PGA Tour, thanks so much for coming on and telling us what's going on at the PGA Tour. There's always something amazing happening at the PGA Tour because you are always innovating and making the game of golf better for its fans. Please come back on and keep us updated about what's happening at the PGA Tour. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks for having me. See you soon.
Well, that'll do it for us this week. We'll see you next time with House of Cards.
In your head.